Thank you for having me and allowing me to testify. My background is I was a Superior Court judge in New Hampshire from 2001 to 2013. I presided over many felony-level criminal cases. I imposed many criminal sentences. I recall presiding over one particularly horrific first-degree murder case, not brought as a capital murder case, where the defendant killed his pregnant fiancée by knifing her several times in the stomach. The jury found this defendant guilty of premeditated first-degree murder, and I then sentenced him, as the law required, to life imprisonment without the benefit of parole. Thus, the rule of law in that situation removed this defendant from our society, banished him from ever enjoying any freedoms that we also cherish, and consigned him to a punishment of close prison confinement for the rest of his life, without any chance of ever getting out with somebody else. Now, I come to you today to speak in favor of repealing the death penalty. There are many reasons that one can argue for that, and I'm sure you've considered them all. But I'm going to briefly talk about two matters that often come up when one considers whether to continue the death penalty. The first one is it not appropriate when persons act so egregiously and so inhumanely towards others by depriving them of life, that they in turn should be deemed to have forfeited their lives? I think of Hitler, for example. Would one execute him? The second thing I'm going to talk about very quickly is, don't we do it right here in New Hampshire? Why are we worried? Don't we always do it right? Well, let me start with the first matter. I've struggled with this. There are many people in our state who believe that an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. I've had many sentencing hearings where people wanted revenge, but then I've had many people subject to very horrific situations who did not want revenge, who saw the matter in a different way. I myself, my background, I'm Jewish from a German heritage. My family had to flee Nazi Germany. Some of them got away, some did not. I have a sense of that. Yet when I look at our state and our country now, what do we have? We have a developing, evolving rule of law which places great value on human life itself, even for those who commit reprehensible acts. We're not anymore in a society where one gets quickly executed for stealing a minor item or this or that. We live in a democracy governed by a strong and developing rule of law in which we really expect a premium on protecting the sanctity of living. Now, our government is vested with great powers to cope with many complex and vexing problems of great magnitude. And we want our government to have those effective powers, but we also place restraints on our government. We want them to respect life, liberty, and property in particular. We want our governments to be stern and proper in dealing with punishment, but we also want our society to not to continue to be involved in activities and matters that undermine maybe the dignity of the state. Increasingly, people are repulsed by the idea that our state is engaged in the execution and state killing enterprise. Our values are increasingly going to life, to the allowance of life, not to having our state involved in some sort of systematic killing. That is of comfort to me. I think we are evolving and changing. I understand what Senator Scott had to say, and I understand that there are, when people commit horrific crimes, there are consequences and people suffer. I will say to you, putting someone in jail for life without benefit of parole is quite something. I recall reading Winston Churchill once saying that if he had the choice, he'd rather be executed. Now, as to the second point, and I'll briefly talk about it, does it always work here? Well, I was a judge too long to say to you that the rule of law is always perfect. It's a human thing involving judges, juries, etc. Are mistakes made? Yes, they're made. Many decisions are based on credibility judgments that a jury needs to make. So keep that in mind when we think about the death penalty, because that's pretty irrevocable. It's not, while we're a small state and we do have a very, very strong and detailed capital punishment statute, can one say that it won't result in some sort of mistake at some point in time? Hard to say that. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your testimony. Questions? Are you willing to take questions? Seeing none. Thank you very much.